Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in Matthew. Today we're looking at Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 20. This is a very significant passage in the Gospel of Matthew, and actually it's a climactic moment as Matthew relates to us the story of Jesus. Because in this episode we're reading, Jesus brings his disciples to the point where they're ready to make a great confession of faith. He's been teaching them, leading them, showing them who he is. But now for the first time, he is going to ask them to say it, to profess it, to articulate who they know him to be, whom they believe him to be. So this is that first great statement of their confession of faith. Let's read it. Matthew 16, verses 13 through 20. Now Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, and he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Well, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "What about you?" Jesus asked. "Who do you say that I am?" And Simon Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah. This has not been revealed to you by man, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not overcome it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then he warned his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Christ. This is indeed a significant moment. For the first time, one of the disciples is going to say, it's going to be Peter, speaking on behalf of the others, but he's going to say, "You are the Messiah." We believe that. Now, they've been coming to that realization, but they haven't said it out loud yet. And so Jesus wants to bring them to that point where they say it out loud, where they make that public statement of who they believe Jesus to be. You are the Messiah. You are the Christ. You are the Son of God. Now it takes them to the region of Caesarea Philippi. This is an area north of Galilee, outside of Jewish population. It's in a Gentile area. So it seems that Jesus wants to have the disciples alone with him for a time to bring them to this point of confession. So while they're there, he begins to ask them first, he says, "Who are the crowds saying that I am?" What is the popular opinion about who I am? What are you hearing from the masses of people coming? And there's several answers. Well, some say you're John the Baptist. John the Baptist. Now, you remember from reading a few days ago that John the Baptist had been martyred, had been executed by Herod. And Herod also thought that Jesus might be John the Baptist returned from the dead. You remember that? Some of the crowd was thinking the same thing. Herod tried to kill John, but maybe God has brought him back. Maybe Jesus in some way is John all over again. Some of the crowds are saying, according to the disciples, that maybe you're Elijah, the great prophet from the Old Testament. You know, when you think of those wonderful prophets in the Old Testament, probably the first one we think of is Elijah, that great, great man of God. And you remember in Malachi had said that before the coming of the day of the Lord, Elijah will return. Now we know, of course, that John the Baptist came in the spirit of Elijah. That fulfilled the prophecy. But some of the crowd perhaps was thinking, well, maybe Jesus is that Elijah. Malachi told us he had come back. Maybe that's Jesus. Some said maybe you're Jeremiah. Jeremiah had such great compassion for the people in his day, and they saw that Jesus had compassion for the crowds. So maybe he's Jeremiah returned. Or maybe he's just another prophet, one we're not sure. But all the crowd was thinking is they knew he was a great man of God. They knew he was in the prophetic tradition. But they haven't got to the point where they realize that he's the Messiah. Okay, Jesus says, that's what the crowds are thinking. What about you? Who do you think I am? Who do you believe I am? You've been with me. You've seen my miracles. You've heard my teaching. I've been bringing you along as my disciples. Who do you think I am? And Peter always quick to express his mind. And I think he is speaking for the disciples. He said, we believe you're the Messiah. We believe you're the Christ. For centuries, we've been looking for the Messiah to come. We believe you are the anointed one of God. That's what Messiah means. We believe you are the Christ. Christ is the Greek word for Messiah. We believe you are the one. We believe you are the Son of God. Come to us from God himself. In some way, God among us. They're not sure how that can be, but they're coming to believe it's true as it is. Oh, this is the great confession of faith. We believe you're Messiah. You know, Jesus brings us all to this point. He brings us all to believe in him. He leads us along. He calls us by grace. He implores to us, bring us to the point where we'll make that confession like Peter did. You're the Messiah. You are the Christ. You are the Son of God. You are God come to us. Christianity is that confession of faith, to believe in Jesus. And I said this is a climactic moment in the Gospel of Matthew. It is. And it's also the climactic moment in all of our lives when we come to that point where we confess faith in Jesus. That's when we're born again. That's when we begin a new life. That's when we truly become Christians, when we make that confession. Like Peter, we must all come to that point of faith, of belief in Jesus. And we must say, as Peter said, we believe, we know you are from God. We believe you are the Messiah. We believe you are the Christ. We believe you are the Son of God. And we give our lives to you. That is Christian faith. And that is the kind of profession all of our lives must have if we're to be followers of Jesus. Amen and amen. May all of us be like Peter. Make that confession of faith. We believe you are the Son of God. You have a great day today, and I'll see you next time as we continue looking at this passage in our 5-minute Bible study in the Gospel of Matthew.